Hey, before the episode today, I want to give a huge shout out to Luz and Omar at Macizo for hosting Amanda and I in their restaurant. They would not let us pay for the food that we got, so I would love to return the love to them and have you go visit them. I think that they are totally deserving and wonderful people who are deeply accommodating of us recording there, and I really appreciate what they're doing at their restaurant. I think it's lovely and I will definitely be back. So yeah, give them some of your money. Hope you enjoy the episode as always, and thanks for listening. Hello, my name is Michael Zarick, and in 1989, a man named Ray Oldenburg wrote a book called The Great Good Place. And in this book, he coined the term, the third place. What a third place is it's anywhere outside of your home and your work where you can go, exist, and just be. And so I've made it my goal to find people all over Indianapolis who are building community and creating third places all their own. So today, I'm joined by somebody born and raised in Indiana, not a lifelong baker. I scratched that out. Somebody who discovered baking at one point in their life when they lived in Florida, the founder of Indy Dough, and is now running, is a social marketing coordinator.
Whatever.
Social media person for Ash and Elm Cider and Pots and Pans Pie Company here in Indianapolis. But most importantly, she is best known as a food content creator known as Amanda in Indy. Her name is Amanda Gibson. Hello, Amanda. How are you doing?
Hi. Good.
Yeah. Today, we're doing something very special, something I've not done before. We are at Macizo, which I don't know what part of town this is. It's like just the outskirts.
I don't.
We're kind of a half mile from Eagle Creek on 72nd Street.
Yes.
And Macizo is a Peruvian-Mexican fusion restaurant because the owners come from those respective countries. So I'm super excited to sit down, talk about food with you, and eat. We're gonna eat some food too.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. So we have drinks in front of us. I got a mole latte, which is crazy, and you got what?
Carmini says it's cold brew, pineapple juice, lime juice, and blackberry syrup.
All right, cool.
But
first sip on camera.
Okay.
Ready? Cheers.
You want to cheers? Okay. It's good. What do you think?
Well, I love mole. And
Oh, good.
But it's like, it's kind of like a, I've had lattes that are like spicy. There's like an undertone of like chili. Like it's like sitting on my tongue, which I really like. And it's like creamy and it's like, I didn't expect it to be ice. I actually thought it was gonna be hot, but either way, it's good. I'm happy. What about you?
It's good. I have had this before. I like the pineapple and lime. Like you wouldn't expect to pair that with coffee, but it's like a brightness to it.
That's awesome.
You're more than welcome to try it. Minus.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were germ.
No.
I guess we were sharing food later, so I shouldn't be surprised.
I feel like I need a straw because all the foam went to the top.
Oh, that's really unique, but in a fun and nice way.
Yes.
And the coffee isn't super bitter either, so it's
correct.
A very pleasant. Do you want to try this?
I've had that one too before. Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Cool.
this one.
So my very first question, Amanda. Thanksgiving is in 3 days.
Okay.
What are you thankful for? At this time, it doesn't have to be.
That's a good question.
And not when I say you.
Yes. I mean, I am thankful for my husband, who I'm nodding to over there.
He's not paying attention.
Yeah, he's working.
He's supposed to be working.
It looks like he is working.
Yeah, I think so.
My husband, my child, I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful that I am able to just go to a store and get food. And I feel like that is something that not a lot of people, or they struggle with saying that. So I'm thankful for all the opportunities that I get right now in life.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I invited you on. Actually, I invited you on because I have been following you for a little bit, and when I first moved, or actually prior to moving from Arkansas, when I move to a place, I have to make sure that there's good food there. Food is so important to me. I've grown up, as I grew up, this is like weird lore from me, but I grew up knowing the founder of Texas Roadhouse. So like restaurants and food has been so core to my being. I love sort of the way, especially now that I'm older, like the way food brings people together and restaurants bring communities together. And so seeing you highlight Indianapolis and Indianapolis restaurants was really compelling to me. And I love how like nonchalant your content reminds me of myself, where I don't think you take it too seriously, but you are out there, like the seriousness comes through in the output of like, you are there for the purpose of highlighting local restaurants.
Yes.
Can you speak to that a little bit about why you think it's so important to be maybe not necessarily Indianapolis centric, but in your case you are, but local centric?
I think that it is just, let me think, because there's like so much that you could say about it. I am a why person, and I am a story-driven person, and so when I go into a place, I have to know why. Something like, why did you put these flavors together? Why did you why is this on your menu? And places like Texas Roadhouse, you can't really ask, why is this on the menu? Because
the server doesn't know.
Yeah, and also there's not, the reasons that they have are because the customers buy this one. If the customers don't buy this one, then it's gone, it's out, or the cost of goods is a reason. But like for a place like here, like you can look at the menu and like you can actually like, I can like point to ones that they've like told me like they have like deep roots in memories. And like with the pozole that we were talking about a little, I guess it probably would have been off camera, but the pozole that we were talking about, like Omar was telling me like it was something similar to like what his mom made. And yeah, just there's a connection there, and it's a lot more fun to just live life when you like know the person next to you
Yeah.
instead of not knowing them.
So we, just a preview, Luz and Omar are going to cook us food and then come out and talk about it too. So
Yes.
I'm excited for that. Is there a highlight other than here that somebody has told you a story about a dish that they've made?
Like other restaurants?
Yeah, because we're going to hear about here. So is there a different one?
Yeah. We went to, I never say that something is the best because
either.
The best is like subjective to the person, but there is a place that I do think is the best so far for pho, but it's the best to me. And I always talk about chow. So have you ever been there?
Is it CHOW?
Yes.
Okay. No, I haven't been.
Yeah, it's in Fishers, but it's actually, I didn't know this for the longest time, but it's actually owned by my dentist. And I love my dentist office. But whenever I found that out, when I was like getting my teeth cleaned, I was like, I had no idea that you like were the one who started chow. And she's from Vietnam, and she was just saying like there weren't like pho places that she like loved. But then her partner, he is from Mexico, so I guess another like a little bit of a fusion place. It's a pho place, but there are definitely Mexican influences in a lot of the dishes. But just like, I think that was just like so funny and a connection. And so she was able to tell me about the things, why she made the pho that she made. And then the last time that we went in, the pictures on the wall, Carlos was telling me that Dr. Vu like actually took those on her iPhone on the last trip that she took to Vietnam. And I was like, I had no idea that these weren't just like stock photos, like these were actually like photos. So it's just like little things like that where I'm just like, it makes me like appreciate things a little bit more.
Yeah, that's awesome. I read in a little interview you did that your dream is to go to Vietnam. Is that still true? And have you done it?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I have talked to Dr. Vu. She goes back and she does, I guess it would be like just missions work and she does, she goes there as a dentist.
Yeah.
And she says basically just for like all day, she's like just opening up to people that don't have access to dental, I guess dentists in general, but she's just like for 8 hours, I'm basically just like removing teeth that like are infected and like can't be saved. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do that, but next time you go, could like I go with you? Because I feel like I don't know, I'm on
Like
the
I'm gonna
side.
tag along.
Yeah, I'm on the side of TikTok where like it just looks so much fun to just like walk the streets and like just stop at like each food stall. So,
Yeah, I think there's like that's an interesting point you make about like tourism. Like when you think about tourism, you only see the glamorous side of it.
Yeah.
But Vietnam is a very poor country, and a lot of countries outside the U.S. are very poor.
Yes.
So you only go to the, I mean, there's parts of the U.S. that are very poor, obviously, as well. But yeah, so that's interesting.
that
to
would
think
be
about.
outside. If I to travel outside, that would probably be where I would want to go. I don't know if that would happen anytime soon because I have a small child, but I have heard that Vietnam is like that they love children and that it's very like a great place for just like children to like run around, and
Oh, that's
that
kinda
they
fun.
like are very considerate to, I guess, kids. But I don't know if that's true. I don't think I'm going to take my kid there. I would rather just because he's not going to want to stop at all the food stalls. So maybe after he's older and my husband and I can go somewhere.
That's funny. I love that you said you don't like pick favorites or pick like best, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because when people ask me like, what's my favorite restaurant in Indy? What's your favorite movie? I always say I don't do favorites.
Yeah.
Because I think the essence of a question of like, what is your favorite is what will I like?
Yeah.
But they're asking through you, and like there's never alignment there, almost ever.
A lot of times when people like in the comment section of like my videos, they're like saying like, well, Amanda went here, so it must be good. I'm like, don't, like, you're putting me like on too much, like, don't do that, because like we have different taste buds, and eventually like you're gonna feel that like I've led you astray. So like I'm sharing food that like I think is good. And sometimes like I try not to share videos of places that like I didn't have like a good experience, because I don't really want to like negatively talk about like small business, because like that was my experience, but that doesn't mean that it's like everybody's experience. But I feel like I'm not like, you're not gonna like the same
Like people
thing as me.
potentially put too much weight in your opinion.
Yeah. Like go and try it for yourself. Like I'm more here sharing story. Like I want to share share the local businesses more than like their food, but I also want to share their food because it is really good.
Yeah, definitely. So how did you get started like doing content? Because you moved from Florida, you worked for a biscuit company that I think is a subsidiary of Cracker Barrel, is that right?
Not when I started.
Okay. And then you moved back here in 2018. 2019. 2019. Okay, that interview I read earlier was wrong, and I was right. And then you started Indy Dough.
Yes.
Can you explain to me how you? Well, actually, talk about Indy Dough a little bit, and then we'll talk about content, because that's sort of the progression.
Yeah. I mean, I can. Do you want like I can do like the whole history?
I would love that.
That I'm like well versed on.
Sure.
So, once I graduated high school, I moved to Florida. I didn't want to move to Florida. I would never have chosen to move to Florida because I hate being hot. But I moved to Florida, and I was there for a decade, and then I ended up staying there because I met my husband. I had my kid there. But while I was there, I started working at, it was called Maple Street Biscuit Company. There was only one location. Before that, I worked at Panera. And that was like the last like corporate place that I was like, I will never work for a corporation ever again. So after that, I needed a job, and I went to Maple Street. They were a biscuit place that just opened in a neighborhood called San Marco, and I worked there. And then we had just gotten engaged, and I knew that I needed more of a career and not just like working on a line. And they had already opened a second location, and I said, like, if you want to keep me, then you're going to have to like make this more of a career for me. So then I became their trainer. So I ended up opening like 7 locations. But then once they started talking to Cracker Barrel, I was like, this is the exact thing that I said I didn't want to do. I promised myself that I didn't want to do it. Returning back to Maple Street, working there, I started posting on Instagram for them, and because their pictures that they posted were like bad, and they would do like the really bad filters, and I was like, you're not really like showcasing the food.
Yeah.
And so then I just asked, and this was before like I even knew like this could be like a career. So I've always worked in social media before I even knew that that was like going to be a job, before anybody knew it was going to be a job. So then after I quit, I was at Maple Street, and at the same time that they were talking to Cracker Barrel, a couple had reached, let me back up. So then I started baking because I was working so freaking much, and I was traveling, and I wanted some sort of like creativity because I enjoyed making food, but I wanted some sort of creativity. So then I started baking.
So you started baking while working for a biscuit company?
Yes.
That wasn't like draining to you at all?
Well, we didn't have a kid.
Okay.
So, and yes.
That's funny.
But I wanted to so Maple Street made almost everything from scratch, but it was still like a recipe that you had to follow. But I wanted like a creative aspect, and I wanted to be able to make things myself. So then I started teaching myself how to make more technical pastries like macarons, and then I would start just posting them to my own Instagram, or I wanted to start a blog, so I started like a blog, and then from that, so that was in Jacksonville, Florida. And then from that, people saw like what I was doing, if I'd go out, because I was also just very local focused there as well. So anytime we're going out, I'd be like, oh, I saw that you made this thing, and then we would talk about it. And from that, a couple found me, and they said, hey, we're opening a donut shop. Would you like to come and be like our recipe developer, our head baker? And it was the same time that Cracker Barrel was talking to Maple Street, and it was just like, this is like the perfect timing.
Yeah.
So then I ended up leaving. I helped open it. Was called Good Dough. I don't know if I think that they're still around. I think that they ended up selling their company, but
to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
And then like 5 years from now, Indy Dough's gonna sell to Cracker Barrel.
So no, heck no. When Cracker Barrel, the marketing department at Cracker Barrel reached out to me, and they wanted me to do, like, obviously they're not gonna know who I am, but they wanted me to do like some like content creation and like at a new location that they had, and I was like, yes, for $5,000.
I feel like you're lowballing.
Yeah, but it was just funny because I was like, I'm never gonna do anything for you. But I ended up doing a paid thing with Panera, which they gave me $3,000.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, all right, I will go back to Panera. And
So I watch a lot of Twitch streams. Just to tell you not to undervalue yourself. Some of these Twitch streamers sell like an hour, 2 hours of playing a video game as an ad for just an absurd amount of money. Like an absurd.
Yeah.
Like sickening.
But I don't like that. I don't like that.
Oh, definitely not.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what my husband says all the time. He's like, you should be charging more. And I'm like, okay, well, I would rather just like have the money, and so give me the money and I will make this for you. But so then I started working at Good Dough, and they changed their menu every month. So like I made the dough recipes, but then I also like had to make glaze recipes, and it was like unique glazes. And then I got pregnant, and then I wanted to be closer to my family. So then I came back to Indiana, but not where I grew up, because I'm from a very small, tiny town, and I want to be close to my family, but I didn't want to live that small town life anymore. So Indianapolis was where I never like grew up like coming to Indianapolis, but like I was like, let's do Indianapolis. It's the airport's there. So if we need
that was your only opinion?
I mean, we had opinions because anytime I would come to see my family, I would fly into Indianapolis, and I would always be like, I wonder what Indianapolis is like. But it was mostly like, I would go to like a restaurant here and there, but it was mostly focused on like just getting on the road and like getting home from the airport. So I just knew that that's like where I wanted to go. But I'm going to tell you why I started Indy Dough.
Yeah.
So after coming here, I was so in the restaurant scene in Jacksonville, but I didn't want to like do the restaurant life anymore, especially because we moved when my son was 1, and I was like, how do I get to know people within the restaurant community in Indianapolis, but not work in the restaurant scene? So that's how Indy Dough kind of got started, is because I wanted to be taken seriously. I didn't want to be known as like just like a customer like going. I wanted to be taken seriously, as in like I actually knew what I was like doing and what I was talking about. So that I started Indy Dough. I had no idea that it was going to take off like it was.
The Midwesterners love their sweets and treats.
Yeah, and I really didn't want to do donuts, but nobody was making donuts like I was making donuts. And I did try to, because I also did Good Dough's social media and I grew that as well. And so like I knew that people would want that, but then how was I going to show that I could, it's hard to sell social media marketing to small local businesses. So I did reach out to like a few of them, but like they don't have marketing budgets for that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went the route of Indy Dough, and I can make other things, but nobody was making donuts, and people go crazy for donuts. Donuts are never going to trend out. They're always going to be trending. Like cupcakes, I feel like cupcakes is like things that is like a treat that goes in trends. Like,
well, it's like anything or nothing bundt cakes. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like those were huge for so long,
Yeah.
and then it's like those are gone.
Froyo, that was
Froyo,
also
huge, and now it's boba a little
Yeah.
bit. But boba's also kind of trending up.
yeah. But boba is like a cultural thing, so I feel like it's also going to be like trending for a group of people for forever. So
That makes sense.
yeah,
It's also fun to drink.
it is.
I'm pro boba.
I gave you a lot of information.
Yeah. So Amanda and Indy comes like within Indy Dough or like after?
So Indy Dough happened for a little while, and then I think that so I started that in 2019, and then the pandemic happened, and a lot of businesses were looking for ways to pivot in a way, and I think that they pivoted towards me, so I did a lot of like pop-ups and trying to like help other businesses, because I feel like sometimes people want me to come to their business to help bring awareness of their business. So places like Tinker, I did like a few, they did like a drive-through system like in their wholesale parking lot. I don't know if you've ever been to where they actually like roast the coffee, but
Yes, I have. I know where it is.
so they like made like a whole like drive-through, but then so people would pre-order like my donuts, and then they could order like while they were there. So then I would just like drop them off. So then it was just like to help them, and then I did it with Gugman House,
Yes.
their coffee shop. Just going there and making people aware that they're open and like this is what they do. And then also I get to sell my stuff and I get to make what I want to make and not for somebody else. Cause that was like another thing where I was just like, I'm doing all of the work, but like I'm not the owner. People aren't recognizing like what I'm doing. And for a long time, I very much put emphasis on humility and being humble and not taking credit. And if I could like talk to my like early 20s self, it would be like, you can take the credit.
Yeah, I've learned that through this podcast. Like very similar to you. Like I don't like being self-absorbed, or at least whatever my perception of that is. But also when I'd go, oh, I'm the Third Space Indy guy, people like light up. They're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
thank you for doing that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's okay. I should like probably tell people who I am a little bit.
Yeah, what you're doing is important and people like they want to know. But with Amanda and Indy, so after Indy Dough, I still have Indy Dough. It's hard. I tried to like become a brick and mortar and it didn't go the way that I wanted to, and it was very overwhelming. And
But then it gets back to that sort of like what you were trying to avoid.
Yes.
Because you're there every day, you're in the kitchen,
Yes.
you're doing stock.
Yes, and so I don't want to do that. And so I had actually reached out. Pots and Pans had posted that they were hiring for front of house and for social media. And this was like the first time that I was like, I've never seen a small business post that they're hiring for social media. If they will let me do. So then I just reached out and I was like, if you will split the job, because I don't want to do front of house, I still want to have Indy Dough and I still want to be a parent. And I was like, if you'll split the job, like I would love to do social media. And they said yes. And I was so like, I can't believe that they like have, first of all, you have like they're doing, I feel could be completely wrong, but I feel like they're doing well if they're able to have like a dedicated like marketing budget. And it was new for them too. So then it was also going to be like a little test run. Like, I assume that I'm just thinking like what they're thinking, like, wait, is this worth it? And just like, I'm so thankful that they said yes. And Clarissa and Ian are the owners of it. And I love working for them and with them. And they've just been great. And it's just been really fun. And it's just after working with like a husband and wife owner that didn't work well together and me like witnessing all that, I was like a little apprehensive about going and working for them. But it was nice. And I was able to like grow their account, and like they were able to actually like see people like come in and like be like, we came in because of TikTok video.
Yeah.
And it's just fun, like doing videos of like, it's not serious, it's not anything like that. But then after a year of doing that, I noticed like I had free time and I didn't want to do Indy Dough stuff as much anymore. So then I just posted, I think there's a private Facebook group for indie women in food, and I just said like, hey, I've done pots and pans. So I was able to have like credibility too. It'd be like, you guys all have like seen like, this is my work. And I also had Indy Dough, which the page also had a good amount of views or whatever you want to call it. And so I was able to prove that I could do it, where before when we moved and I didn't have Indy Dough yet, I couldn't like prove. I could just be like, here are these 2 places that are not in Indianapolis that I can't like show you like what I've done other than like you just like scrolling and looking. But I was able to just like say like, hey, I have free time. And the owner of Shoutout reached out and was like, let's have a call. So then, I don't know, it was just nice because she was able to look at pots and pans. She was able to look at Indy Dough. And I mean, if you're in the food world, you know pots and pans, you know Indy Dough, or have heard of it, then, or at least I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, because it's like an elusive thing.
I always talk about
sometimes.
like this podcast is a legitimizing force, like for the perceptions of other people. You kind of had that in a similar way. It's like you've built up this beautiful thing of like a bakery and a social media following for, you know, a separate entity, but it's your work. So it's like Ashnell looks at that and goes, yes, that's for me.
Yes. Yeah. And I've been with Ashnell for 2 years now, so it's been good.
Yeah.
And again, like I like their business. I like the people who own it.
It's Andrea, right?
Andrea. Yeah.
She's gonna fight me.
Do you watch Arrested Development?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know memes like there's always money in the banana stand, or like they're illusions, Michael.
Yeah.
Or like, because my name's Michael, people always go, Michael.
Oh, that's funny. We love Arrested Development, and there's a character, Anne, and she's supposed to be like very dull, and people forget her. And so whenever they talk about her, it's his son's girlfriend, and so he's like, Anne, and he's like, who? And so I always have to, like, that's my description of how to say Andrea's name. I'm like, do you know Anne from Arrested Development? And be like, Anne, who? Andrea. But Andrea and Aaron are the owners, and yeah, they are very like community focused, and it was very different. So it's still food world, or it's still like within the industry, but like drinks are totally different from pies.
Yeah.
And so I have
and there's like
to
different
challenge.
restrictions on like advertising too.
Yeah.
Like you can't show people drinking it. Is that like a thing?
Well,
I just think about Bud Light commercials. That's
yeah,
like
I didn't know that. But it might be a little bit different for like small businesses, but like with TikTok, like I've had to like adjust, like they've like flagged the word cider. So like even though there's like non-alcoholic cider, then
That's
I don't
interesting.
know. It's just fun. It's a fun job because you get to like the algorithm is always changing, the rules are always changing. And everything's always a test. So it's just fun
that makes sense.
and frustrating.
And just to what you said, you said you're thankful that Pots and Pans brought you on. I'm sure that they are also thankful that they brought you on at the same time. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
I'm speaking for them. I've never met them, I don't think, but I have met Andrea.
Yeah, I do. Whenever I do Pots and Pans like reviews, I tell my first review, like she had like bullet points, and at the very end it was like, you are funny. And I was like, if this isn't in every review I ever do for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be so mad. I was like, I never knew that was like be a point. So,
I didn't, because we just met for the first, like officially for the first time like a week and a half ago-ish, right? Is that,
well, wait, no, the first time was at the first recording podcast that he did.
well, yeah, I said hi and I was awkward. And
Yeah, it was funny because you like, I was thinking about it too. You were like, hi, you're Amanda. And then you like went off like those like cartoon characters that like, are like, did you ever watch Scrubs? Where he like goes off into like his like imaginary world and everybody else is just like left there standing and staring. And I'm like, okay.
Anna, my wife, gets on me because I just go through life in a very like weirdly assuming way. So I'll just be like, I'll say it like I'll walk into a space where I know people and I'll be like with Anna and I'll be like, like, hey, what's up? Like, say hello to people. And Anna's like, I don't know who these people are. Can you introduce me? It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Well, I feel like I'm socially awkward, like in group situations too. So sometimes like I don't like those like surface level like questions of like, how are you? Because I'm like, I'm just gonna say good. Like there's not like, I don't know, like how much time do you have? Like,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like, click.
I always try to be honest with people when they ask me how I'm doing. I'm be like, bad.
Yeah, but then like, do I want to like share everything I'm going through with this stranger that I like barely know, or
Why not?
Well, yeah, see, our personalities are different. I'm like, do I know you? Like, are you like sometimes like, do I want to just tell you something and have you not respond, or do I want you to like actually give me advice? Like I'm very like selective on the advice. Like I must know you and like your story before you give me advice.
Oh, I was gonna say, so we met officially like at a conversation like a week and a half ago-ish. I don't remember exactly how much time, and I was so struck by your personality. I don't know what I expected, but you're just like so dry, and I could tell there is like humor waiting to come out.
Yes,
like...
I am very dry. I have been told to smile for other people my whole entire life. My first job was at a grocery store, and it would drive me bonkers that like people, I'd be like, I'm literally just doing this. You want me to be like...
Have you been told you have resting bitch face?
Yes.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a good deterrent.
And it helps me, I feel like it helps me find my people that I like want to be with, because like there's like, I feel like Andrea, she like immediately was like, let's talk, let's have these conversations. I don't know, there's certain people that I feel like I could be like silly with. And I feel like sometimes if you don't know me, then once you like, if we actually like make the time and like sit down, then I'm not gonna talk about like serious stuff. I want to talk about silly, stupid stuff all the time. So yes, I am very dry. I am resting face. I will not smile, put on a fake smile for you, because that's for you, not for me. Mm-hmm. And why do you even care?
Yeah. Actually, can we talk about that? Can we expand on this?
Okay.
You got some haters out there.
I do, yeah.
Can you?
But I don't know.
Do you have any
them.
words for the haters?
No.
No? Oh, amen. Okay, well, fuck them. Whatever.
No.
What about the lovers?
Thanks.
Perfect. That's what's up.
I think if you want to, since you're asking a question, if you want me to.
No, I mean, we can move on.
No, I just think like it's funny and silly. Like a lot of times, like when people comment, it's usually about my body, and they don't want to see me eating food. And so then I'm like, should I like, what do you want? Like, who are you and why do you want something from me? Like, I can show you, like, I should like make a video on like a tutorial of like how to like block someone. Also, like, if you don't understand like how the algorithm works, like if you comment on my page and you don't like what you're like looking at, you're going to just get more of me. So if you like just don't interact, and like you can hit like unfollow and there's no reason. But like me, that's like the internet. And like I knew when I started like doing videos, I knew that it was gonna happen. And the more viral a video goes, the more like people are just going to say whatever they want to say, because they're not in real life. Like, they're not going to say that to me in real life.
100% they're not.
But if they did say it to me in real life, then like we could have like an actual conversation about like I would want to know, because there's like been there, and it's usually Facebook, and it's usually men who are in their 40s and who are white, and they look, I don't know, they just look like, a lot of times I'm like, why?
Little worms.
Yes. And I'm like, why does this bother you so much that I'm eating? But then I feel like, what if I like posted a video of like where I do go and like decide to move my body? Like, are you gonna be mad that I'm moving my body? Like, I don't know.
There's a guy who I follow on Twitter who's like a bodybuilder. He's I guess bodybuilder is a word, but he's a power lifter. So he's really short and stocky and buff as fuck. And these people will come in his comments and be like, you're looking kind of weak, or like just actually like aggressive towards him, and he's like, post face.
Yeah.
Post face. He's like these little like worms of people just like don't like come out of their little holes.
To me, I'm so focused on like, I'm telling you about like a business and like how hard that they've worked to like get to where they are, and like you're just so focused on like what I look like, then like you're missing like the whole point of like the whole entire video of me like showcasing food and like, I don't know, I'm just not, like, I'm not even talking about like what I'm eating or what I look like, or I don't know. And that's like one of the reasons why, there's a couple like different reasons why I wanted to like start like content creating, but one of them was like people didn't look like me, or they weren't like talking to me, or they had like the come with me to and it just like wasn't real. And I'm a very like, I want authenticity, and I feel like I do try to be like an authentic person. Like I have like held on to that word for
you just walk
a
into a
while.
restaurant, order some food, say hello to the workers, and then you leave.
Well, and I'm, oh gosh, yeah, content creators, influencers drive me bonkers. And I feel like that they could do so much good, and a lot of them they suck. They do everything for themselves, and I feel like if you have all these followers, like you have a platform to like do good, and so why aren't you? So yeah, why don't you? Like I don't go into a place and be like, I'm a content creator and make sure that like you're cleaning your plate, make sure you're doing this. I'm not gonna ask you, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna ask for payment. I don't wanna get paid, I don't want free food. I wanna make it a point to, like if I go into a place, especially if it's an immigrant-owned place, I'm not going to be like coming in here and asking for them to pay me or to give me free food or tell them like the things that I can do for them. Because again, the algorithm is always changing. You can't promise like what like things will be. Like even if I show you like my metrics, like that doesn't mean like that next video is gonna do really good or anything. So one of the, like I brought you here to Macizo for a couple like different reasons, but one of them was because like I came in here, I didn't tell her like what I was doing. It was just me and my son, and we just like ordered, and I guess they had just opened. And whenever I came back to talk to her, she was telling me, she was like, I've had a few people, she's like, I just really appreciate that you came in, you didn't like ask us for anything, because they'd already had other influencers within Indianapolis come in, ask for things, ask to get paid. They're a brand new freaking business.
Yeah.
They don't have the money. They just spent all of their money on opening this place.
And even if they did, who was spending on you?
Yeah. So that was like another reason, because I have been on both sides, where I've also been like, in working for Pots and for Ash and Elm, I have reached out to those influencers to be like, come in, make a video, here's what we're offering. So I have been on that side of it. And then I've also been like, when I was in Good Dough, I always like to give this example of, there was this really annoying like foodie influencer, but he never like actually knew anything about food. So I was making coffee pastry cream, and I was like crushing the coffee beans, because because I don't know if you know how to make it, but
coffee pastry
cream.
Oh, okay.
So you have to infuse milk with coffee so that you get the coffee flavor. So I was crushing the coffee beans so that it actually like expelled like more of the flavor. And kind of like, you know how like when people like make cocktails and they like kind of hit like the mint to like rub it around, it like expresses like the oils that are in it. And so he was like, why are you doing that? So I was like trying to explain it to him, and I was like, you know how like whenever you like use garlic, like you crush it, you don't just like throw garlic, like a whole garlic clove in, like you have to like open it up. And he was like, no. And it made me so mad, because he was standing in the kitchen during like such a busy time, and he was asking for free food, and he was standing in my way. And I was like, there is a line like out the door, and you are in my way, and we don't, like a lot of times when people like ask me stuff, especially like Indy Dough, because I've also had those influencers in my inbox in Indy Dough, and I'm just like, I don't need you. Like I don't have enough, like I'm selling out, I don't have enough food to even give, so I don't need you, and I don't need to pay you to do this when I can do it myself. So I know that might sound like a little arrogant, but
no, I eat that up.
But that was like one of the other reasons why I liked coming here, is because, and people have come to Macizo because of my videos. And I did like, I wanted to, because when my pages first started taking off, people would be like, oh, I'd love to go out to eat with you. And I'm a person who has a lot of like walls up, where I'm like, I need to know who you are first. Like, I don't like, are we going to enjoy
all I've taken to this conversation is sitting down with you in this moment is a high compliment. I appreciate that.
Yes. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see after this. But I did like a night where I was like, if you have ever said that you want to come out to eat with me, we are going to go to Macizo at this time. we don't have to like talk to each other, but we are gonna go support a local restaurant that like I have come to love, that a lot of you have already come to, and we are going to pay full price and we are going to tip well, because I feel like that is another thing that influencers do, is they expect things to be given to them. And I feel like they think like they are entitled, and there is a lot of work that goes into like creating content and editing videos and doing a voiceover and doing all those things. So like I don't want to discredit like a job of like a content creator, but I think that there's like a sense of entitlement. Like you are taking their hard work, like what they've done in the kitchen, their history, their story, and you're taking it and you're putting it on your page and you're getting the views, you're getting the money from it, when like you should, like if you're going to do that, like you have to like understand what you're doing, and you have to make sure like you should be paying full price, and you should be pointing people to go there, not to just be like the viral fruit pastry. It's like, I got this here. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on influencers in Indianapolis.
Or it's not just, I was going to say, not just Indianapolis. Yeah. There's a lot of that.
We have some good influencers too, and I feel like I'm trying to like change the way that people do influencing like within Indianapolis. I don't know. So
yeah,
maybe I'm not changing the way.
I think the more you talk shit, the more self-aware they can become.
Yeah, maybe.
I think this is a good moment to transition if you want to, if you want to order food. Let's just ask the question since we're waiting. Third Space Indy is sponsored by cityrising.org. Mark Lotta has decided to sponsor the podcast. And if you didn't know, City Rising is a social impact studio that leads and supports innovative projects that strengthen, celebrate, and repair people and places. So if you're a people, or you're a person who inhabits a place, and you're the leader of an organization, and you're interested in improving your built environment, your surrounding area, your community, reach out to me or reach out to cityrising.org, get connected with Mark Lotta, and find out how you can work to improve that area around you. But Mark has sponsored a question, which Amanda knows well because she's been listening to the podcast, which is, what is a third space to you?
So at Maple Street, I feel like my boss was he also read the same book, and he was like so adamant about making Maple Street a third place. And so I feel like a part of me, like anytime you like talk about it, I'm like,
you get like trauma.
Yeah, because I heard it so often of like, how can we make this place like a third place? But what was the question? What is it to me? Or
what does it mean? What is a third place like to you? It doesn't have to be a physical location. Yeah. It's just sort of conceptual, or it could be a place.
For me, I think that it would be not, obviously it's not work and it's not home, it's someplace that you go. But I think that it's just someplace where you feel comfortable and you feel like you can be yourself.
Perfectly acceptable answer. Is there anywhere that like exists like that for you now? Like when you go out and do, if you maybe you consider Amanda and Indy like your work, but like when you're going out and doing different like restaurant videos, is that like your third place? Like you're finding comfort in that, or is
I don't know.
Sometimes
like it just depends on like where, like which location. Like with them at Macizo, like I feel comfortable with them. Like Luz and I have like gone out to like dinner together.
Let's go.
When her family, her mom and dad were visiting, they invited us in, like my family in, and we did like dinner after hours, and like her mom made like something. So it's just like built like that relationship. So like I would feel like, yes, this is like, I feel comfortable here. I feel like I can like get out of my seat and I can like go and ask a question, and I don't feel uncomfortable like asking a question. But I don't feel that way like at every restaurant, even if I like their food or I like them, like I don't feel that way. So it just is a different like thing. But I would say like, I was thinking about this and I was like, maybe like grocery store.
Actually, I think that's really, I always think about when I was a kid, like it was always after church on Sundays, you're like dressed up and you go to the grocery store and you see everyone you already saw at church.
Oh yeah.
And there's always like, you're a kid, so you're like, can we please get on with it? But your mom or your dad is like sitting there talking to somebody for like 30 minutes in an aisle, and you're like, please God, help me.
Oh, well, and I wouldn't say that I like talk to people when I go grocery shopping.
Oh, you're
like,
locked in?
I want to have time. I would love to just like walk the aisles and like look at things and like think about food and like think about like, I don't know, just different stuff like that. I am a very, when you said like that this is like, what did you say? It's like a compliment to be able to like sit down and like talk like more on like a deeper like conversation level. Like I don't do that like a lot of times. So I'm very much like a singular person. I think a lot in my head. My husband like knows like before we had a child, it was if you're coming home or if I'm just getting home, I need like to decompress. So I guess like an introvert is what I would say. So if I'm going to my third place to go, not talk, but I'm sure there's like, I have people recognize me now. So
it's happened to me a couple times.
And then it's just like a little bit, it is like, I'm so thankful for it because like they don't need to like say thank you to me. They don't need to like do any of those things. So it does mean a lot. But then at the same time, then I feel like I have to like do something a certain way. Like I can't just like walk down Trader Joe's aisle and like, I don't know. But then because I repeat going back to those places, I have like built a relationship with like at Trader Joe's, like going through their line, and then we could like talk about like where we've been and stuff.
Yeah.
So, or like usually if somebody does ask if I like have gone, or if they like come up and talk to me, I usually ask them like for a recommendation, and I say like, can you send me a DM? Because I would like to follow people back, especially like if they took the time to like out of their own day to be like, I'm gonna go and say something to her. Where other people, they're like, I saw you here, and I'm like, that's so creepy. Like you didn't say anything, but like you saw me. I'm like, you should have just like come up and said something. Like so then I don't like that you were just like watching me.
Have you been to Saraga?
I love Saraga. I would say that is a good third place.
I've been there once, the one over near Costco that way. And you talked about like thinking about the food or thinking about food, and I feel like Saraga was like the epitome of that for me, where it's like I'm walking down each aisle that is labeled by country and just thinking there's like so many stories here, or the food in this aisle is important to somebody.
Yeah.
Not to me, because I don't know what to do with like dried fish, frankly. But to somebody, it's like, this is like home.
Yeah.
Or a piece of it.
Yeah, and that's like another reason why like I like sharing the restaurants that like I choose to share. No, like I didn't realize like how unique it was for me to go to all these like immigrant-owned restaurants. This was just like a normal thing for me, but like I liked going to those until people like started putting on like an emphasis of like, you eat so many different types of food. I'm like, well, why aren't you eating those types of food? And why is it so unique that I'm eating them? So that was just weird to me. But what was I saying? What were we saying about?
I was just talking about how like Saraga aisles are like a piece of home for somebody.
But then that's what I feel like sometimes when I do share and people follow me, I'm like, this could be like important to you. So like the Filipino Cultural Center is on the south side, and they have 2 restaurants that are in it. They work opposite schedules of each other, so they can use the same kitchen. But it was just like, I don't know if anybody is from the Philippines, and so a lot of times they're like, I'm Filipino, and I had like no idea that the like cultural center was even there.
Yeah.
So
cool. Oh, we're getting plates. I guess you need plates to eat food. Sometime.
Yeah, that's the reason why I brought my husband. He's here to eat the leftovers. I didn't know if you could eat.
What do you mean if you mean like capital E, like get in on it?
Well, yeah. Well, I call like my husband is like.
I can chow down.
He's like my brother is this way too, but we call him like the disposal, so like the trash can disposal. So it's like if you're all done, we'll just like pass it over and you can finish it, so no food goes to waste.
Well, I guess while we're still waiting. Oh, of course, the next question, which is related to the previous question. We went on a long tangent.
Yeah, sorry.
Also, this is going to be a long.
Sorry.
No, I really am like, I feel like I have, food is so vital to the human experience that it's unfortunate that it's taken me almost 30 episodes to get to talk to somebody about it. Like I just released the one with Sierra today, but like even that is like, why did it take me so long to get here? Because food is like one of the like only things that every single human on Earth shares in common with each other. So by extension of the previous question about what is a third space to you, what is a third space that you used to have that you no longer do?
So I thought about this one a lot because I feel like there's like a lot of places, like I'm 36 now, so I've had like a lot of places that I've gone to, but I like that you always give the caveat of like, it doesn't actually have to be like a physical location, but like it can be whatever, not physical, like just a place in your mind.
A space, or a place in your mind.
I would definitely say like as I've gotten older, like I just like really I miss like not having the cares of the world. I miss like the friends that like I had like in high school, like, and I'm still friends with like some of them, but like I miss like just being silly, just being stupid, like being in the small town and just driving around and like just doing stupid stuff. Or this may be like a little bit deeper, but like I miss my perception of like the mom that I had when I was like growing up, because now as I've gotten older, you get to see like your parents' flaws, and now that I've become a parent and I get to see like even more of their flaws or like question like their way that they do. So I miss those places where I could like not know more. Does that make sense?
No,
like,
I think the term ignorance is bliss
Yes.
rings true a lot to me. Like,
Yeah.
I always talk about, like, I've mentioned this before, but like taking classes in college that really opened my eyes to a lot of bad stuff worldwide, and specifically like the US itself has taken action in. And like, there was a time before where it's like, I was so happy.
Yeah.
Now it's not.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, shout out to my mom, because in contrast to you, I feel very blessed that I feel like as I've gotten older, I've gained a deeper respect for my mother
Yes.
and like who she is and how she raised me. Like I really appreciate her for that.
And I will say, I always like have to, I appreciate my mom a lot. It's just like there are certain things that like I'm like, dang, why did she do that? Why did she say that?
Yeah.
And I have to like think about like the way that her upbringing was, or like who she had influenced her life, or the way that the world was treating women in her time, and like growing up and thinking that you like I don't know, just being herself in the time that she was being taken advantage of, and like the expectations were put on her as a woman, and then that she just took them and were like, this is the way that it is. And then also she just church. There's a lot of trauma that is like related with church, but I will say my mom is one of the like the first people that like my inspiration for like food and like trying new foods was her. It came from, well, I don't want to talk about this part, but like it came from like a place of like hurt. But when I was like in high school, she decided like she was going to start going out to eat more, and we would go to places. There was a Chinese restaurant in my town, and I love this story, and it's made such like an impact on me. But they had just opened up, and it was just like any other like Chinese takeout restaurant, but it was owned by this very sweet couple, and they had told, and like English was not their first language, but they had told my mom that they had like, they were just talking, and they told my mom that they hadn't had like Mexican food before, and not that this is like any place special, but she went and got them Taco Bell, so that they could go and try tacos for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's just like little things like that like I really appreciate my mom. And then the couple of that Chinese restaurant like it just became like one of my favorite places like growing up to go. And so much so that like anytime they would go back to China, they would like bring me something back. And like looking back, I'm like, that's so silly. Like I was just a kid. And so why were they doing that? They weren't like, it was my mom who like had the relationship with them. But then like my senior year of high school, I didn't realize this was like a Midwest thing, but did you grow up here? Where did you grow up?
I'm from Louisville, but also Midwest.
Did you guys have open houses like whenever you graduated?
What do you mean open house?
Whenever you, I didn't know this was like a Midwest
so cool.
thing until my husband, until like I talked to him. But an open house is like whenever you graduate, you like have a big party, and like people like within your life bring you either money or they bring you things like towel, like to get you ready for adulthood.
Okay, we did have like graduation party.
Yeah, but they called it an open house.
I definitely didn't do that.
So at my open house, they brought like all of my favorite things, like as like a thank you, and like all my favorite things that I had ordered, and they brought them like catering sized dishes. And then one time they brought
Oh my god.
for back from China, they brought me like an actual like traditional like
Like a Chinese like
I don't know
like
what you
outfit?
call it. Yes, and like I used it in like one of my like senior pictures and stuff, and like I had no idea like how much of an impact that place would have on me until like I got to like where I am now, like making content and stuff. And I'm like, I wish I could find them, and I tried really hard to find them and to like reach out to them, and I have no idea how to find them because Jim and June were their names that like I knew them, but those are not their names. So
Jim and June.
yeah. So all that to say, my mom is the one who like tried new foods and like exposed me to just going out to places where you don't know the menu and just like picking something on like it. So okay, well anyways, here's our food. I think
Are you recording?
Oh yeah, it was.
You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
Sorry to command you. I don't mean to do so.
How dare
It's
you?
just so beautiful. It deserves to be
Yes.
preserved.
So
And
yeah,
I'll
I'm
post,
excited.
if you're listening, I will post images of this. This is gorgeous. Have you ever been told that you're just a beautiful person? It's like, this is gorgeous.
So,
And she's extra beautiful because she's also beautiful on the inside. Have you ever noticed that when people, you're like, that person is so gorgeous, and then you start talking to them and you're like, ugh, they like became like awful. And then have you ever talked to somebody where you're like, they're beautiful, and then you start talking to them more and you're like, they are extra beautiful?
This reminds me of almost like, so I'm going to sort of describe what I'm seeing. So this is like a tortilla with almost like a stew on top of it.
Yeah.
It reminds me almost of like Indian food a little bit. This looks distinctly Peruvian to me, where it's like, is that fish? So it's like fish with a bean? Like a bean salsa on top, maybe?
No.
No, I don't know any of this.
It's
I've got a
fun to
bowl
listen.
of
Yeah.
meatballs.
Well, and this was what I love to do. I love food. So like, I like to like talk about it first. And like some people like comment that they hate me like smelling stuff, but they're like, it's so disrespectful that you smell. I'm like, I'm using all of my senses. I'm like, actually feel like it's very respectful because like I want to show appreciation to the food so much. So that's why I'm smelling it. And also that's another thing my mom did is like when we'd go out, she would always like taste something. She'd like try to guess like all the ingredients that are in it. And so I feel like I try to do that.
I do that too.
Yeah.
I
And,
try to
like,
guess.
so sometimes smelling is different than tasting.
So we have another bowl, which is a soup. There's an egg in it. I'm assuming there's pork in it because it looks very fatty.
I think
I'm
this
getting a
one
lot
is
of good
beef.
smells. Oh, it's beef.
I think so. I think.
I'm doing it based off eyesight.
Yeah.
And then I think these are. So this is enchiladas and mole on one side, and then a green sauce on the other, which I assume has tomatillo in it. And this, I don't know, just a different type of enchilada. No, these are. They look like chilaquiles,
No.
but like not. What is?
I can't remember. I've actually never had this one, but I wanted to get it. It's eaten for in. Do you have the menu?
Server.
It is this one.
Enfrijoladas.
Yes.
Frijole means, so it's like a bean sauce. Got it.
Yeah.
Frijole. That makes sense. I know Spanish.
I want to tell you about it, but they do such a better job at explaining. Luz is like really good.
Oh, we're just waiting for enchiladas.
The tamales.
Tamales.
I wanted that one specifically because they nixtamalize their own corn. Do you know about this process?
Well, like with the oh wait, that's crazy.
Yes. So
Yes.
not a lot of places do that.
Yeah.
Julieta's does it.
Okay.
But for the tamales, they nixtamalize their own corn. They don't do it for like this or that. But it's like sometimes when places say like they make their own tortillas, they just like get their own masa, but like they're actually like getting their corn. And do you know how to explain the process of nixtamalization?
Husband appearance.
You mix it with like what's called like a lime, which is like an alkaline mineral, I think, if I recall correctly. And you basically just like let it sit with that for a while, and it softens up the corn kernels to make it digestible by humans, because normally it's not digestible by humans. So it's basically something that indigenous people discovered, thousands of years ago, that if they had not taught it to settlers, and if people hadn't carried it over in Mexico, then people would just have died of starvation because they cultivated the crop of corn for thousands of years. So
Thank you, husband.
yep.
That's what one of your questions was, like, who supports you? And I was like, my husband. Like, a lot of times, like, I say, like, I would not be able to have the jobs that I have now if it wasn't for my husband, like, being like the main source of income. It wouldn't be like I wouldn't be able to make
Oh
like
my
these
God.
videos because of
You're so good.
Okay, I think this was everything.
For those of you listening, this is Luz. You're a co-owner, yeah?
yes.
Yeah, co-owner of Macizo. So we're gonna talk about the food that's in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
It's actually painful that I have to sit here and wait.
Okay, so we are going to start with the tamales. Tamales, I always love to brag saying that we don't use maseca on that. We actually start with dry hominy corn. We nixtamalize it here, which is the process where you have to boil this dry hominy with lime powder in order to remove the skin. we'll have to let it air dry for the whole night, and the next day we have to grind it. And then we start building the tamales from there, our dough and
Yeah,
everything.
so you're making your own masa, which
We
you
are.
then make into tortillas, or
Yeah.
whatever you're using it for, because this is not a tortilla.
Yeah, no, just
Yeah.
for the tamales.
Yeah.
Those tamales are Mexican, but we love to serve it with salsa criolla, which is the easiest way to explain it is a Peruvian version of the pico de gallo. That. Then we move to the enfrijoladas. This is a super, I don't know if it's traditional, but just home cooking Mexican. Enfrijoladas is a plate that normally you are not gonna find it in a Mexican restaurant because it's like that. It's more like, it's humble.
It's like grandma's cooking kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for this one, we use the tortillas. In the middle, we put carnitas, homemade carnitas as well. The sauce is this smoky bean sauce that is just slightly spicy, but with some sour cream on top to cool it down, a little bit of carambo queso fresco, and again, the salsa criolla. Now we have the enchiladas. This one, we call them campechanas. It's half and a half between the mole verde and the red mole. Red mole is super traditional. I think it's the most well-known sauce in Mexico. I always like to say that the red mole is a sauce that has a lot of character. It has like many layers. It's made mainly with dry chiles, seeds, nuts, and chocolate. You are gonna feel like the sweetness of the chocolate. It also has all the nuts that are in there, the seeds, a little bit spicy because of the chiles, and there is also kind of like smoky, savory, sweet at the same time. You're gonna love it.
I know I'm gonna love it. That's I love moles.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
So the other one, the green mole, not as popular as the red one, but
What does, sorry to interrupt, what does mole mean? Like, is it just like a pepper sauce? Or is it a little
it's more like a pepper sauce that it needs to have peppers, seeds, nuts, basically just that, and that's gonna make a mole.
Okay.
In this one, for the green one, we use roasted poblano with some peanuts in there. So it's not spicy,
Okay.
it's more tart because of the tomatillo, has a lot of tomatillo. And yeah, well, we have those sopa criolla right here. This is
Wait, say that one more. Sopa what?
criolla.
Criolla?
Like
Okay.
Creole.
Oh, okay.
Sopa criolla is this Peruvian soup, and the same as the enfrijoladas. You barely gonna find it in the restaurant. It's super humble. It belongs to your house. It's something that your mom cooks for you. In this one, I follow my mom's recipe.
Has she ever come into the restaurant and like slapped your hand? You like, do it better.
But she's been here for some time. So yeah, sopa criolla has engineer pasta, has diced potato, diced beef. It's a beef broth base with some milk in there, and the red comes from the. Normally we would use ají panca, but we discovered that it's the same as chile guajillo in the Mexican. If not the same, it's pretty similar. So we just use chile guajillo for this one. Has the sunny side of egg, and we serve this with a slice of his sourdough bread, his homemade sourdough bread.
We're gonna make him talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna force him. Meatballs. We just put them Mexican meatballs because they come in guajillo sauce, the same chile that we use for the soup. It's non-spicy as well. The meatballs, they also have tomatillo inside. He also used one full loaf of sourdough bread soaking milk. I think that's the secret to make them like super tender. I'm not sure, but everybody say like, it's super tender, how do you do it? I want to believe that it's because of the sourdough milk, soaking milk. Tiradito, that is my favorite. This is another Peruvian plate. It's similar to a ceviche, not the same. A lot of people ask me like why we don't have ceviche, since that is the most popular thing in Peru. You think in Peru and you think about ceviche. But always my answer is, if you haven't tried tiradito, you just have to try the tiradito, and then you will know why we decide to go for this one instead of the ceviche.
Can I see the menu? I just want to see. I'm gonna say it like I would say it, like a white boy.
This
Where
one?
is it? Oh, tiradito. Okay, got you.
Yeah, tiradito.
What's the fish on the bottom?
That one is tuna.
Okay.
Like sashimi style tuna. The yellow sauce is leche de tigre, which translates to tiger's milk, but it's just this citrusy with a lot of lime sauce that it has some veggies blended in there. Kind of like maybe some celery, has some ginger, has some garlic, cilantro. Normally, that sauce, the leche de tigre, is kind of white. We make it yellow using ají amarillo paste. Ají amarillo is this Peruvian yellow chili pepper that has just a unique flavor. We use that. On top goes the canchita, which is the Peruvian toasted corn mixed on with some onions, with some cilantro, and
it's
more leche de
corn.
tigre.
Why did I think it was beans?
No, it's corn. And canchita. And this one is the taco norteño. It's his own version of the taco norteño. He explained to me that in the north side of Mexico, they eat a lot of tacos but using flour tortillas. Normally, they're like regular sized tacos, but on his vision, he just uses a big flour tortilla. It has some cheese on the bottom, the refried beans, and he topped it with this stew that has pork, beef, pork, diced potato, and chile morita. Chile morita is one of his favorite chiles. Is kind of smoky, has some heat in there. It's comforting too.
Well, thank you for sharing.
I want to have him explain this one, and then also talk about bread. And then is this is him, right, too? Is this you or is this
No,
him?
that is him.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna call him.
I'm so excited. Oh, I'm gonna shake your hand.
Okay.
It's good to have you. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you.
This taco norteño. Okay. Can I stop
Whenever you want.
Okay. And yes, the taco norteño to me is like I remember a lot of things from my parents' house. So I have in my family I have 5 brothers, and my mom always cooks like big pots of stews. And these remember a lot of my house. And also I think when people start like they accept this and try, and they always recommend, because there's people that they recommend this place, oh Macizo, and try this. I feel like we were doing something different. And I don't know, this this kind of still remembers a lot of my childhood. Salsa Matcha is salsa matcha. They start making salsa matcha in Veracruz, and now there's a lot of salsa matchas everywhere. But I think most of the salsa matchas they are just like spicy. But this one is spicy, is smoky. The seeds add a lot of flavor to the salsa matcha, and that's why we put it in jars, because a lot of people start asking that they want to take home, and say yes, you can.
Buy a little jar of it.
And yes, the sourdough bread. I started making sourdough bread like 6 years ago. First, I start with beer, making beer, but the process was a little bit long, and to be honest, it doesn't get my attention a lot because the process was very, very long. One day I was watching videos on YouTube, and one lady was making sourdough bread, and I said I want to make that because that was interesting for me. And yes, I started making sourdough bread, and I think now I can say that my bread is good. It's what I get what after 6 years, now I have the sourdough bread that I was looking for a long time. And yeah, that's why I make sourdough bread. In Mexico, we don't eat a lot of bread like that one, but it's like I always say, I do what I like to do.
Would you say that is like the main thing on the menu that is wholly you?
Yes, yes, because to be honest, I think it took me a lot of time. A lot of breads that I baked. The first bread, it was a rock. But
Yes.
anyway, we eat it. And I think if you lose,
My grandfather was a prolific baker, I would say. Like, not that he was famous or anything like that, but he was always in the kitchen baking, and he everyone in our family knew him as like the bread guy. So in 2019 and 2020, I started baking sourdough bread a lot as a sort of like homage to him in a lot of ways. So and we are our own biggest critic when it comes to the food we make. And it's so cool to see the progression of your bread over time for yourself and for you, I think.
Yes, and actually when I go to tables and talk to people, and it is something that I feel really good when they come back and say, "Oh, I started making sourdough bread because of you." I said, "Oh, that means a lot to me."
Do you sell the starter?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Actually,
Can I have some of your
yeah.
Yeah, I'll add it to mine. I love like a little like history, like along the way. That would be fun. Yeah, because I have some from Amelia's too, so I could just like add it in.
You got the Indianapolis starter.
Yeah, call it Indy. I feel like there was like a lot. Every like country has like fermentation somewhere like within their history, but then whenever I walked in here, it was like if you look up there, he's got like all the like bread books that I would read. So it was just like interesting to. I was just saying that it was interesting that whenever I came here the first couple of times, I was impressed by their menu, but then like I started looking around, I was like, this is kind of strange that they have like sourdough like on their menu, and then up there they have some books that I've also read, to like help with my own like sourdough journey. But it was just like interesting, and so what Omar said, like that he does what he wants and he makes what he wants to put on the menu. So like you don't have any rice or chips, and I feel like when people say like this is a Mexican restaurant, they're like, oh, can I get some like chips and salsa? They're like, no, we don't have that here.
We have sourdough bread.
Yeah, we have sourdough bread.
That's so funny. Well, I'm so excited to eat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for getting on camera. That's very brave of you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
First of many.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question for both of you. Here, let me just hold it. You don't have to put it on. Can you tell me which of the dishes in front of us is your? You already said what your favorite is.
Yes.
Did I get your favorite?
Not that we're.
This is what I put.
Oh, my favorite is that one. I eat, I don't know, every day.
Every day?
Yes.
I feel like you shouldn't eat this every day. I feel like this is like if you ate it every day, it's like clogged arteries. Oh, but I saw that you added fruit.
Yeah, después de con chamoy.
Can I order that too?
Yes.
I haven't tried it yet.
No, but you like chamoy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What, do you make your own?
Yes.
You make your own?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, give it back to me.
Amanda's
Tell me more.
But you think he's gonna pull something out of the bottle?
Tell me, what's the process of making it? I actually don't know. Wait, I do know. Tell me, there's a lot of ingredients in it.
Chamoy is like the peppers like sauce. You put it on like fruit and stuff.
There's tamarind in it, right?
She doesn't use that.
Oh, okay.
Chamoy is actually it's a Japanese sauce.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh.
but then in Mexico we change a little bit. We add hamay because it's chamoy in Japan is from ¿cómo se dice? Prawn ciruelas pero ¿se dice así? Prawns.
Prune. Okay,
Prawns.
yeah.
Uh-huh. It's a prawn sauce. But then in Mexico, they add hibiscus. I usually mind peaches, hibiscus, tajin, salt. Yes.
Okay.
And prawns.
Well, now I really want to try it now that you're
Yeah.
making your own chamoy.
Yeah.
Pots and Pans, they did like a mangonada, like icebox pot, and they made their own chamoy. So I saw like the process, and it takes a while
Mhm.
to like make.
You had to boil everything, then blend.
Do you use dried or is it all
Dry.
Dried. Okay.
The prawns dry, but the peaches they fresh.
So the other interesting thing about them is they both worked in the restaurant industry, but neither of them worked in the back of house. They both were. He was a bartender and she was front of house. So I just think like that's another an applause for them because like not only did they work in the kitchens, but like they're like making this, and they were recently named one of the best restaurants in Indianapolis by Indy Monthly, right? Is that what it was? And Yelp too. Ooh,
Ooh.
congratulations! I didn't know that one. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So more people should be here. Should be eating here. Okay. All right.
Okay, we're gonna cut the video. We're gonna eat food, and then we'll come back and wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. That works.
That way
Okay,
we
yeah.
then we can have like a closing to the
Okay.
podcast. and we're back. Well, Amanda and I and Amanda's husband just finished eating all of your food, and it was so amazing. Thank you, Luz.
Thank you.
But Amanda told me that the name Macizo has a meaning behind it, so I would like to ask you what that means.
So macizo, if you translate it literally to English, it would mean sturdy.
A story?
No, sturdy.
Oh, sturdy.
Sturdy,
Got it.
that
Okay,
one.
Sorry.
Okay, so it's sturdy. So macizo is something that is well done, that is compact, that it has, that is strong. It has no holes in that. It's just complete. That is macizo. Also, macizo in Mexican slang, they use it whenever they are working and they say, we're gonna do it macizo. That means we're gonna do it right, we're gonna do it fast, and we're gonna do it just one time, the best way possible. So that is what macizo. And if you look at the menu, we also like to write it with a plus signs and then iso. So plus signs in Spanish reads as más. So it's más iso, which breaks the full word in two words. That means to do more.
Yeah.
So and that's what is Omar always to do more.
Amazing. And the food was also so amazing. I am so happy right now. We had that pear bread, pear cake.
Pound cake.
Pear cake.
Pear pound cake.
Pear pound cake. So many words.
Yeah.
With ice cream on top, I was like, oh, that's so. My favorite thing in the world is like bread pudding. Actually, so both of those things really evoked bread pudding to me. So they were very delicious. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate
No,
it.
I'm so glad that you decided to try almost the whole video. No, you still have things to try.
I'll come back and get the rest. But Amanda and I are going to wrap up. But thank you so much for having us.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
So her dad is I don't know if you would call him like a ceramicist, but he makes these little, he makes like little
Clay figures.
clay. So he makes them, he fires them, and he like glazes them and paints them and does whatever.
Everything is handmade.
Yes. But there's that's what I want her to show you around the corner. But then he also brought me back like this little tiny nativity scene and what they're dressed up like from where the town that you're from.
I don't remember which one you got, but so his business is to make nativities with Peruvian themes. And not only Peruvian, because now I learned that he also takes some cultures from Chile and he has one from Alaska. His version of the nativity in Alaska.
I think you told me that it's like where you grew up or where he grew up.
It started like that. The one that I have here, that really big one, that's how traditional people dress in my city.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what I have too. But he brought it for me and I dropped on it. The cow lost his ear.
So, but mainly his business is just making nativities with different themes, Peruvian themes. All of them are dressed like differently because he paid attention to the attires and everything. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And I always super proud of that because I always say that that's how he got paid for my feeding, for my clothing, and how I learned English because he had to pay for my classes. So,
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Amanda.
Okay. Bye.
So we just finished eating food. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is your fifth time here or something?
I don't know.
Oh, you said
I mean,
fifth time making a video.
yeah,
So
I
we're
mean, I've been
talking
here,
many more times. I was so blown away. It was wonderful. And I think I agree with you where I feel like them telling me the story of the food made it actually taste better. Because I was like, oh yeah, this is like her mom's soup. And I can picture myself being sick and eating it.
I mean, this is one of the that I told you many reasons why I wanted you to come here, but I feel like this is one of those spots where it just really showed me the impact that I have on making videos and choosing the places that I go to is not just because the food is good and they worked really hard to get to where they are, but also her parents came and I had dinner with them and they brought me a gift. They brought me a whole block of cheese and just little things like that where I'm this is I want to be here and it makes me feel good about what I did.
Yeah. And on Patrick's podcast, Patrick Armstrong's podcast, Andrea. That's right, Andrea. Sorry.
And who?
Andrea. She said something about you that I thought was so interesting about how you are so locally focused and locally, you're like, when you talk about supporting local businesses, that is what you do, because you're not just going to a place once, you're going back, especially if you enjoy it like you do here, like you are supporting them in every way that you can. It is not just making a video for them, but if you find a place you enjoy, you are returning to that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought this up like on record too, is that we just talk about like how a lot of like influencers, like they just go to a place and then they never return. And like Luz even like made the joke about like some people like will come on and like make a video and they're like, I can't believe I've never had this before. How did I ever live? I'm gonna die if I never have it again. I'm gonna have it every day. And she's like, I've never seen them ever return.
And then they died.
She's like, they must be dead. But I mean, to talk to that too, I always like try to see like both sides. Like there are some places that like I absolutely loved the food. Like there was a Burmese restaurant on the south side. I'm just not really on the south side as much to return.
It's like a 35-minute drive.
Yes, but like you definitely like put your money where like what you are invested
Want to
in.
stick around, yeah.
So, and yeah, I feel like as an influencer, we do showcase, like it's not like great for the algorithm to like show the same video over and over again, but like in reality, like these places aren't going to be around if you only go there like one time. They're going to be there because you're continuously, like it's not about like first time visitors. It's nice to meet new people, but a lot of these restaurants, like they started because they wanted to meet like their neighborhood and their community. So they can't meet you, they can't serve you unless you like come back.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've been going for a really long time, so let's wrap it up. I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
You know what they are.
Yeah.
The first question is from the previous guest, Sierra Knuckles. She asked, when was the last time that you felt truly loved by a community?
I feel like there's more surface level. Like, I feel like for me to have, this is a me thing, for me to feel like I have to be in community, like I feel like I need to know those people, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that's just like a negative thing that like I may have to like work through. But like, obviously like coming here, that's like, I feel like a sense of community. And when people like come up to me and they like ask me like, are you Amanda? Like, they say basically like, thank you for like what you're doing for like the small businesses that you're like working with. And I feel like that's like a sense of community that like, that also like doesn't feel that way because I don't really know those people. And I feel like they have the perception of me, of what I choose to put online. And this is like such a long time ago, but I was thinking about like when my husband and I were about ready to get married, and just like the amazing, like the different parts of my life, like were all represented coming to our like wedding. And it was just like freaking weird to like look around and be like, this person knew me at birth and this person just met me last week, but like they're all like important like pieces of my life. So I felt community in that. And then also when we had our son, a lot of people like came together to like make sure we were taken care of right after. And I feel like if something were to happen now, like I feel like I would have that community, but it would be shown to me. But nothing like that has happened.
That makes sense. Thank you for sharing. I loved your answer. One last question, and then we'll wrap up. What question would you like to ask the next Third Space Indy guest?
What fictional or not fictional, what food would you want to eat out of like a movie or a TV show or something that's like not real, like it's not in real life? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so like if I'm eating like a Krabby Patty type thing,
Yes.
that's like the first thing in my
yeah,
head. I don't know if that's my answer, but
I think my answer used to be Hook. Did you ever watch that movie?
oh, like with all the like the colorful
puddings. Yeah,
food.
but then I watched it again recently with my son, and I was like, that actually looks disgusting to me. So it would be Bob's Burgers, because I would love to actually go in and be in that cartoon and like actually go, because he seems like he cares so much. Do you watch Bob's
Yeah,
Burgers?
I'm aware of Bob's Burgers. You know they have like a Bob's Burgers cookbook.
Yes, but
Okay.
that's not his. But I would love to like actually meet Bob, because he seems like he's like one of those people that just lives like thought so thoroughly about what his burger recipe is, and just a small family business that is trying every single day to like make it. I would love to try his burgers and fries.
There's an anime, I haven't really watched a lot of the episodes, but it's called like Eat in the Dungeon or something like that. It's about these
Like
adventurers.
looking over at my nerdy husband. Do you know that? No, he doesn't know.
Or these adventurers go into a dungeon and they have like this little dwarf man with him who's obsessed with cooking the creatures they kill. So they like
Dang.
they kill like whatever monster, and then he like chops them up, and like they make this beautiful looking food. So there's so much. I've only watched a couple of episodes, but you're like, dang, that actually looks really amazing. Or like any of the Miyazaki films, the way they evoke food in those movies is like so gorgeous.
Do you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? It's fun like having a kid who's like watching these things, and so like they have kanji, or I guess they call it juk in there.
Yeah.
And so that was also like fun to like make that with my kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about how I get to take my kid to all these places, and I didn't realize that was like a unique thing either. It's like people, you're like, and you're introducing your son, and I'm like, he still eats chicken tenders. So,
Anyways,
that was a question. Sorry.
thank you much. Thank you much.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you so much for coming on, but also inviting me here and setting up this for the people. Amanda set up this entire ordeal. She put in the food order ahead of time. She obviously has a relationship with the owners, but she put in some serious work, and I really appreciate it. But for the people who may not know, which I doubt there are many of, can you let the people know where they can find you?
Amanda and Indy on all things TikTok, Instagram. I started Facebook recently. And I'm trying YouTube.
Trying YouTube?
Yeah. And you can find me in the DMs of Pots and Pans and Ashton Elm currently.
Just, hey, Amanda.
Yeah, I mean, some people do that. They're like, they ask questions, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know that this is not Andrea or this isn't Clarissa, just so you know.
That's so funny. Well, thank you again for coming on. And for the rest of you, you can find me at thirdspaceindy.com or at Third Space Indy on Instagram or YouTube. I never shout out YouTube, but you can do that too. Thank you so much for City Rising for sponsoring this podcast. And thank you so much to the local artist Jennison for allowing me to use your song, Scared Rabbit, as my entry music. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to Macizo for hosting us today. It was so wonderful. I'm so happy we did this. See you in the next one. Goodbye.
Scared rabbit, is the coast clear? Go grab it, you're gonna starve here. On your bed of death with one regret, but you never said.